Parker, don't get me wrong. The Mets have something going on, right? 30-20. I
Mm-hmm.
will say it's been a rough 10 days for them. They're 5-5 over the last 10 games, so they're starting to slow down a little bit. But it'd be great for them is to get something more out of Juan Soto, and Juan Soto just has not been it. And we're getting to Memorial Day. I mean,
he hasn't been Juan Soto, right?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he hasn't been an $800 million player. He hasn't been terrible. I'd be happy to have him on my team. Sort of to a certain extent, but right now this year he is, he still has a 130 OPS plus. He's an 800 OPS, 8 home runs, but it's only a 243 batting average. His on base percentage, which is like the Juan Soto calling card, it's the thing that gets him MVP votes, is only a 374. And in the series in New York, the Subway Series, like one of the most anticipated returns in free agent signings that we've seen in recent memory, he went 1 for 10 and walked 4 times and didn't play great defense and didn't really hustle at all. There's a couple plays where one play defensively, he let a ball bounce in the corner that he absolutely could have gotten to. Another one where he grounded out to second base and could have made it a very close play, if not beat it out for a base hit, and just wasn't hustling out of the box at all. And I don't have the clips queued up, but he was playing, he was visibly playing catch significantly closer to the bench than he typically does, because he was trying not to play catch closer to the fans before each inning, because he was trying to stay away from the fans. And I don't know, it seems like a situation where he wasn't ready to play into the whole, this is the Juan Soto return to the Bronx scenario, which stinks, because I think as fans we want to juice that kind of thing up. But I expected him to be like a dog let off the leash during this series, and I think that's kind of just not what anybody got. Not to mention the Mets lose 2 out of those 3 games.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when I talk about kind of we're not getting the same Juan Soto, it's really been over the last 10 games. You're right. Yeah. He's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but I do worry about what we've seen in the last 10 games. Last 10 games, he has a WRC plus of 51. He's batting 143 over the last 10 games. So it hasn't been a great stretch for Juan Soto. Every ball player goes through a stretch like this, of course. Having said that, you kind of said it in the beginning here, is the Phillies. I think we all came into this season, and certainly the first half or so of April, had some concerns about the Phillies, but there they are back at it, right? And leading that division, they always find a way, those damn Phillies. And if the Mets think that they can just coast like they seemingly did all April with getting lucky with their rotation, I think that's going to run out here soon with a strong Phillies team.
Yeah, absolutely. The Phillies are weird. I think still that this is the prove it season for the Phillies. They have to be good this season. They have to win a World Series this season, in my opinion, to finally justify all of this era of Phillies baseball with, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, a lineup of absolute terrors for anybody who's going to be going up against them. The problem that we're seeing right now with the Phillies, and they've outperformed this, is that guys that you need production from are just not giving you that production. Like Alec Bohm has so far sort of gotten to the point where he's not a detriment so much to the team, but it is a 660 OPS plus because of how bad he's been prior to this most recent stretch. He is a -5 WAR. It's pretty bad. Max Kepler has not necessarily been the addition that we thought and maybe hoped he would be, at a half a WAR added this season and a 704 OPS. And then Johan Rojas with his 657 OPS. This lineup is relying on a guy like Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner to carry a lineup that really needs more production from other places. And, their pitching rotation's going to pitch. Jesus Luzardo is I mean, he's absolutely nuts. Zach Wheeler is, of course, absolutely nuts, but he's 35 and could get hurt
Mm-hmm.
any day now. So it's all kind of on a knife's edge in the NL East right now. The Phillies
Yeah.
currently just are the ones balancing on it, and we're gonna see how that shapes out over the course of the rest of the season.
Yeah, we'll certainly see. This is,
Oh,
like we said, what?
I forgot we didn't even put it in the rundown, but we have to talk about Jose Alvarado. PED
Oh, that's
suspension.
right. Okay, yes. So this is a perfect spot to do that now that we're talking about the Phillies. So yes, Jose Alvarado suspended 80 games for PEDs, which this is I can't really think of the last time. It's been a little while since we've had an in-season suspension for a major league player for PED. So this is pretty significant, and it's significant because it's one of the Phillies' better starters, a starter that now will not see the light of day for the rest of the season, certainly into the postseason. So this is, I would say, Parker, it's a hit that the Phillies took that they really, from a bullpen standpoint, can't afford to take a hit on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I also just want to point out that this Jose Alvarado suspension, he's saying he took it as a weight loss supplement during the offseason. He is taking supplemental testosterone. Like, he tested positive for a supplemental testosterone, which, that's a weird
Also,
thing to take as a weight loss supplement.
It is. It is. Having said that, I'll add another layer to this. Is like these players now, you know the rules. Like your
Yeah.
trainers, your whoever you're working with. Like you have a personal responsibility, and they have a responsibility to know what you're putting in your body. Like guys, this. We're too old for this shit. We've gone through this too many times. We should know what's in these things. This shouldn't really be a surprise. Like, come on.
Yeah, this isn't like a tangential substance either. Like, this isn't like a this is somewhat, because there are, let's be very clear, there are authorized performance enhancing substances. You are allowed to crack yourself out on caffeine if you're a closer and slam through Red Bull before you go out there. Like, that's fine, totally fine. In fact, I would expect you to do so. But when you're on like a program of exogenous testosterone, like literally TRT, those of you who are in like bodybuilding or athletic, I guess like a more exercise centric athletic competition, like things like CrossFit and stuff like that, you would know like this is something you're going to get popped for and you're going to get suspended for. It seems like a very blatant violation of the performance enhancing drug policy, which sucks because Jose Alvarado he's 30 years old. He had a 2.70 ERA at the time of suspension. He had pitched 20 innings with 7 saves for the Phillies, and like is a big part of that bullpen and one of the more prominent left-handed closers in baseball. So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
With a 1.83 FIP, he was shoving. I don't know. It sucks. It's a big loss.
It is a big loss. They don't have really any strong numbers out of that bullpen right now. Lowest ERA is Matt Strom out of the left-hand side. He's at 2.89 ERA. Jordan Romano has a high 7.27 ERA. I suspect that'll come down throughout the year. I think that's just a result of some bad games because his K per 9's at 10. So I think that's just a high mark for him this season. But outside of Romano and Strom, the rest is really just question marks. So if you're going to here's what I'll say. I'm going to make this very, very cold take. I especially with Alvarado suspended, I think the Phillies are going to be one of the bigger players for relief pitching at the trade deadline for more than one arm. Hands down.
I would imagine. I'd imagine Matt Strom, I think, is going to slide right into that closer role most likely. Jordan Romano also being a candidate for that too, but Matt Strom, like you pointed out, is absolutely shoving as well. It's a 1.9 FIP. It's a 1.45 ERA plus. He's probably the next guy, especially because he slots in that lefty closer position.
Yes,
but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Big loss for the Phillies, but let's see how they do. This started as a Mets conversation, turned into a Phillies conversation. But that NL East is going to be interesting, especially if the Braves, like they took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox, which I mean, anybody I think at this point could take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. But the Braves are and have begun to dig themselves out of the hole they created for themselves at the beginning of the season. And if they can really get it going, then this division becomes very, very interesting very, very quickly.
It sure does because, folks, let's not forget, Ronald Acuna is coming back.
Yep.
Spencer Strider already back, right? So if those two guys come back and they're hot off the presses and they can contribute anything to that team, wow, won't we all be really dumb when we were giving them shit in April?
Yeah. And I mean, we always talk about how baseball is this game of like getting hot at the right time. Nothing is more evident of that right now than this NL East, where the Phillies went on a 7-game win streak at the same exact time that the Mets decided to go 5-5 over their last 10.